There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
Our perspective is yours for the taking, but you'll have to join us first. We left everything we debated at the Yonko table.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for the Yonko table, the table that will make their dreams come true. Yo, everyone. That is the voice of your Yonko host, DrJaceAttorney. And we are entering the Mushroom Kingdom. Here we come. You heard it here, folks. We are talking about the Super Mario Brothers movie. Hey, paisanos, it's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Okay, I got all my little Easter egg things out. All right, so that's taken care of. But we're here to talk about the Super Mario Brothers movie, developed in-house with Nintendo and Illumination Studios. And we here at the Yonko table are going to deep dive everything about this movie. We're going to tell you the positives, the negatives, the in-betweens. Do we want to see a squeakquel, or is this a one and done? Do we want to see a Smashverse? We're going to cover everything that needs to be said for this movie. But with me, as always, is fellow Yonko, Grandmaster Hoop. Grandmaster, I know you're not a Sonic stan, so are you a Mario stan? Are you what Nintendo does, what Nintendo don't?
Mamma mia! Luigi! DK! Donkey Kong! Sweet! Mario! Yoshi! Roar! Okay.
You're done? Okay.
I like Mario. I like the Mario fandom. I like the Mario lore. I'm a fan of Mario. So I am a stan of the Mario franchise. I love Mario. Yeah.
Fair enough. And we have Supernova Dr. Mondo in the house. Dr. Mondo, I take it you're a DK stan because word on the street is the DK rap by heart.
Damn, I don't know who the hell said that. But they be wrong. I am a neutral when it comes to Nintendo and Mario and all that. Granted, obviously I've played a lot of the games and all that, and I am a Super Smash Bros. Stan, and hopefully there's a Smashverse coming with this. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about this movie. It really surprised me.
I think it surprised a lot of us in numerous ways for sure. But let's not waste any more time. What on three? Do we all want to say it? Do we all want to say it? Come on, let's all say it. All right, 1, 2, 3.
Mushroom Kingdom.
Here we come. All right, Mushroom Kingdom. We're in the Mushroom Kingdom verse, baby. Let me ask you guys this. What were your expectations kind of going into this? This is a video game movie based off of a video game. And as we know, there's for many years, there was a precedent established where if you have a movie or a show or whatever, and you're adapting a video game, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be something very bad, piss poor. But we noticed a trend kind of change recently with that type of film. We noticed it with Sonic, for 2 outings, Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2, as their films did great. We most recently with The Last of Us as a TV series. So I guess, in this new renaissance, and then also, Castlevania on Netflix, in this new renaissance for video game adaptations, what were you guys going into Super Mario Brothers expecting? Were you expecting it's Illumination? That's a bit of a red flag for me. But, going in, were you expecting a Pixar movie or something along the lines of Sonic, or just in general? Where were you guys?
I really had no expectations. I was like, okay, they're making a Super Mario movie. I'm likely gonna see it. I don't expect it to be great, but I don't know if it's gonna be trash. And so that was my mentality when I went to see it.
Right.
Recognizing we are in kind of, I guess, a renaissance.
That was not started by The Last of Us. The Last of Us.
Yeah, no. I
this.
was not gonna say it started.
No. I know you were not. Just
Oh, are people saying, "Oh, The Last of Us"? It's
The Last of Us broke the video game curse.
No, I wouldn't say it was The Last of Us. I mean, as far as I can remember, it was Sonic, the first Sonic film.
You could say maybe Castlevania.
Didn't Sonic come out first?
I think season 1 of Castlevania was like
Castlevania season 1. I think came out first.
Either way, what we're noticing here is that finally, and I say finally, is that a lot of folks are recognizing that there is a lot of rich content and lore associated with all these video game IPs, to where if you are going to adapt them, don't just adapt them like for shits and giggles. Like, let's not just get the main characters in there. There's a lot of room for story in a lot of these, and we've seen it with Sonic, we've seen it with Castlevania, and we've seen it with like The Last of Us.
We've also seen it with Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Okay.
Oh, right. I completely forgot about that.
We've also seen it to a certain extent. Arcane.
Arcane. Actually, technically, Arcane, no. Yeah, that would count. Yep. That would count.
Arcane counts.
We've seen it's
it is a renaissance. It is the last 5 years. Yeah.
But there's something very important though.
What? Very important?
So everything that we've just mentioned, from my knowledge, a lot of those adaptations have the creators involved. Last of Us had Craig. I'm sorry, not Craig. Neil.
Oh, Neil. Yeah, Neil Druckmann.
Right.
Yeah.
They had Neil. Sonic Team helped with the Sonic films, I imagine.
Sega was involved in general. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Sega's involved. Those are probably, I don't know about Castlevania, but looking at some films, video game adaptations where I don't think the creators were involved at all. Uncharted.
Not at all. No.
And we saw how that went.
Don't remind Dr. Mondo.
Oh, he doesn't want to remember the atrocity. So with that said, and again, there was a lot of hype going into the Super Mario Bros. Movie. They announced it at E3, right?
I'm
pretty sure.
I honestly don't remember when they announced it.
I swear they announced it.
I don't remember.
Or it was either E3 or Nintendo Direct.
It was an event.
It was an event.
I don't follow those events. I basically know if it appears in a movie trailer, on the big screen, that's where okay, there we go.
So no, I'm talking. So look, they knew it was a whole. It was a Nintendo Direct, and it was like, boom, we got a movie. We're doing it with Illumination, who is a credible animation studio. They make money. They get their kids.
They make money.
They make money. Not everything they put out is quality. I agree. And that's where that skepticism comes from. But Shigeru Miyamoto is a producer on this film.
That's big.
That is big. That is big.
It's such a contrast from what the original Super Mario, remember the original Super Mario Bros?
1993, yes.
The 1993 atrocity? That was back in the wild, wild west, where video games in general were still in their budding phase. So you had all these companies just kind of dishing out their rights for their franchises to have other companies develop, non-canon games, or even having companies make movies or cartoons based off their property. And the Super Mario Brothers movie, I guess it's not, I think it's called Super Mario Brothers.
No, I think it's the Super Mario Brothers movie as well.
No. It's called Super Mario Brothers. The original one from '93. It's called Super Mario Brothers, and then this one that you're talking about is called the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Ooh.
Just to make it stand out, don't compare us to that.
We're not the Suicide Squad. We're just Suicide Squad.
Exactly.
Drop the. It's cooler that way.
So I mean, hey, we're here for the Super Mario Brothers movie, and I think it's crazy. Shigeru Miyamoto, like you said, he's involved, and part of me just was with very wishful thinking, like, okay, he's gonna be breathing down Illumination's neck. They can't throw in fart jokes. They can't throw in caca humor. They can't, like, Shigeru Miyamoto's gonna have a gun next to him and just watching as the concerned parent off in the corner. And I think for the most part, it was a success in, getting a faithful adaptation. It was pretty good.
You're saying you enjoyed it?
Well, I mean that in the sense of the curse of Illumination, as we want to call it. Not all of it seeped into this movie. There was still some Illumination BS that seeped into this movie, and it's unfortunate because I think you take out the Illumination element from it, you still have a pretty great film, I think, on its own. But we'll get into the nitty gritty because my cons with the film stem from, wow, this screams what Illumination would do in a movie like this, because they've done it in their other stuff, like Secret. I think I got it wrong last time.
You said How to Train
Secret
Your Pet.
How to Train Your Pets.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I can't comment.
I haven't seen those either. I've only seen the Despicable Me's.
All of them?
Yes, number 1 through 3, but I have only seen one Minion movie.
There's 2?
There's 2 Minion movies.
I think I only saw like 2 Despicable Me movies, and that's it.
I've seen the Sing movies.
I saw the first Sing movie.
And then, the Grinch.
Oh, the Grinch.
The Benedict Cumberbatch Grinch.
Right.
Not a fan. That is the one where I'm like, I see the curse of Illumination.
Oh, that's where you saw it?
That is the one where I was like,
maybe because I haven't seen that many Illumination movies. Please describe what the curse of Illumination is.
So Illumination, as we know, they got Despicable Me. Yeah, what's the biggest thing to come from Despicable Me? The Minions. And in every subsequent Illumination film, there's an idea to try to get a character or a group of characters or just a comedic element to rival the Minions, to where it is an ever reoccurring presence throughout the film, and you more or less walk away with that idea versus the actual movie.
And in a way, it's kind of like a
okay, so if you're going through that, I think I might have an idea what the curse of Illumination is in this movie.
I think it's kind of like you know how you like to call it the Marvel formula for the MCU?
Oh, yes.
Where it's like a checklist of things where you're like, oh, they did it in this movie, so okay, we got that, we got that. Illumination is kind of the same way.
Okay.
With their films. There's the Illumination curse is an Illumination checklist. And
okay, got it. It's like it's a cookie cutter formula that they have.
Yes, very much so.
Well, I wouldn't call it I would just say they're like, wait, where's this? You need this.
You need this, and there was this in this movie.
we can't send this to theaters without this. We need the Minions. Where's the Minions?
Exactly. So there's Illumination has their shtick, but either way, they are successful. They are up there in terms of like powerhouse studios. They're up there with like the likes of DreamWorks and Pixar. Like they are strong competition for box office animated films.
Correct.
On this particular one, I think directing it, Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelenic. Hopefully I pronounced that right.
Yeah, so these guys, because when I looked it up, I was like, damn, like who directed this film? Because there's a film here. I was like, wow, there's a film here. These are the guys that did the Teen Titans Go to the Movies. Okay. They have some other credits to their names, but that was the biggest one that I thought was noteworthy, simply because another animated project but also from my knowledge, the Teen Titans Go to the Movies has a very high like rating as far as like people enjoyed that movie. I never seen it, but I recognize it.
I actually really enjoy Teen Titans Go to the Movies. And I do not like Teen Titans Go whatsoever. Like the actual source material. So I went in expecting like this is gonna be trash. It wasn't. It was actually significantly better than trash. It was not even just average. It was a very enjoyable movie. And I was shocked. I was like, wow, that's crazy. So to see, you know, Aaron and Michael on this film, I'm like, okay, maybe they'll bring some of that magic from Teen Titans Go to the Movies into.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Would you say these guys know their lores and the characters they're working with to build a movie around them? Like, do you feel in Teen Titans Go to the Movies, they did a good job by those characters? And obviously the style and format of Teen Titans Go to the Movies, which is basically a parody at times.
Right. I think, well, let me put an asterisk on here. I haven't seen that movie since it was in theaters, whenever the hell that was.
2018.
So yeah, like 4 or 5 years. But from what I remember from the movie, it like the comedy was on point. Like if you understood your mythos, like you said, like if you understood the mythos of the characters, like Batman, Robin, the Teen Titans, and you had a basic understanding, the director seemed to like really like draw inspiration from different elements of the DC mythos to make jokes on it. And they were good jokes. They weren't just Green Lantern slipping on a banana peel and falling in a pile of shit. Like it was actually like good comedy that rewarded you for knowing the mythos of DC from what I remember. So I think, well, here, let me ask this, because we've been kind of beating around the bush with it. Overall, the Super Mario Brothers movie, did you enjoy it? Are you here for it? Do you want a squeakquel? What is it? What's the consensus? Dr. Mondo, 2 thumbs up.
I enjoyed it. Like like the animation was great. Like and it was just like gorgeous to watch, and seeing like all the Easter eggs so on point was just great. Like from like, oh, let's get to this guy's place to our first plumber job, and it looked like a freaking level. So freaking perfect. And then it's like, oh, the little pole. It's like he just goes to the pole, and there's like this little figure. Oh, like I think it's like a restaurant or something. It's called the Castle.
It's a Burger Castle.
Like the Burger Castle. And I was like, these guys. And like it's something so like, oh, so small. And I was like, I see what you're doing here. It's so perfect.
Oh wait, go ahead.
No, yeah, and like throughout the entire movie, it was like that. It's just like they seamlessly put in the Easter eggs, and they weren't forced. They were just like, it just flowed.
They were very natural. I think like visually, if you're paying attention in this movie, if you're a Nintendo fan, you're gonna like, I remember sitting next to Grandmaster. As soon as they went to the restaurant, I'm like, oh, punch out, it's punch out. And it was like at every scene. On a visual standpoint, yes, I would 100% agree. Visually, this movie from top to bottom, like it just looks so beautiful. The saturation of the colors, like this is, you don't get any better than this for a Mario film. Like I can't see it.
No, yeah, like visually, this movie was perfect. It was absolutely perfect, this movie.
Yeah, no, I just had so much fun with this movie.
Same.
You know, Easter eggs aside, which I did love, there was a good story here. And I will say, don't you make that face. We can get in. Don't worry, we'll get into it. But this is a Mario movie. You don't need a wild, crazy story. What?
No, go ahead.
The plot was thin, but honestly, I didn't come to this movie expecting a great plot. It's like it's a freaking Mario.
Well, I come into a movie to watch a movie. and what they gave me was a movie, and I
enjoyed it. I
No,
enjoyed it.
no.
It
What I'm
was
saying is
a
like
film.
I don't come in saying
It was animation.
I don't come in and say, oh, this is a Mario movie. This shouldn't have to have a great plot. I come in and let this movie speak for itself. And I really enjoyed everything they gave us here. And again, you could tell that the directors actually care about the mythos and the lore of Mario to make a story that at least makes sense from beginning to end. It moves, it flows. I'm not saying it's a perfect movie. I think that it does have a couple of issues, and we'll talk about them. But overall, I think there's so much fun to be had with this movie, and especially if you're a fan. Obviously, there were kids in our theater, Dr. Mondo. I don't know. You went. What time did you go? Were there kids in your theater?
I went at 7:30. There were some kids in my theater.
There
Not a ton, but there were.
There was this little boy next to Dr. Jace. He would not shut up. He kept saying stuff like, those penguins think they can hurt Bowser? Please.
Leave him alone.
I was like, shut up, kid. Shut up.
It's almost as if the movie's intended for children.
I don't need him giving me a play-by-play.
He settled down after the intro.
He was super snarky, but either way, snarkiness aside, obviously he was enjoying the film. I enjoyed the film.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be enjoyed about this film.
I think, yes, there's a lot of great that you can take from the film, especially if you're going to see this movie, you're likely a Mario fan. And I think as a Mario fan, you will be rewarded with a pretty decent Mario film, like at bare minimum, I feel like. I think it's when you take the nostalgia off a little bit and then you start looking at, not expecting some great story, but I think we even talked about it after the theater, which we'll get into it soon. There were just some elements we wish that they did a little bit better. Whether it's relationships or more screen time, or even with writing on some of the jokes, the songs, and we'll get into that. But either way, I think overall it's still me personally, I still think it's a good film. It's a great film if you're a Mario fan. But I want them to do better in a squeakquel. I know they're gonna get a squeakquel, like 100%. They are gonna get that in the bare minimum.
Like I'm going to like stir the pot here. Like, hey, Grandmaster, do you think this is better than Sonic?
Okay. I think we should table this until the end of the pod.
Yeah, save it for the end, because I do want to come back to that.
Because I do have thoughts on why I like these movies for different reasons and why they are both great in their own right, in my opinion.
Oh, that sounds kind of fence sitting.
No. We'll get into it.
Okay.
There's distinct reasons.
There's a definitive answer. It's either one or the other.
We're gonna talk about it.
Okay. All right, so let's get into the nitty gritty, the plot, right? I think we made jokes about this before. This is an isekai anime.
Yes,
sure.
This is an isekai,
which is hilarious because I never once considered the Super Mario to be from another, like the human world getting sucked into the Mushroom Kingdom. The games don't really care to tell why there's a human plumber that's Italian running around a kingdom of mushrooms. So, and since it never cared to, I never cared to ask. I never cared to bother digging. But no, like this is literally, what is it, Mario?
This was Mario's origin story.
This was Mario's Iron Man story, which is, I mean, they showed everything in here. They showed like what he has, like his own plumbing business, which by the way played the original Super Mario Brothers Super Show intro, that was hilarious. That was cool. We saw that in the trailers. I kind of would have liked that to be a surprise. So something about these trailers showing.
No, yeah, there was like another, like going a little bit with that, like the surprise and the trailers and all that kind of stuff. You know, honestly, the scene of Bowser and like the penguins, it's like that scene with if it wouldn't have been, shown on the trailers, God knows how many times, it would have been so much better.
I mean, I thought it was fine.
No. Like, it's
The
a
penguin
good
scene, you mean?
Yeah.
Like you got to give the crowd something in a trailer, but the commercial bit, I have seen a recent trend where I feel they have what looks like a fake ad for a movie. Like they make a fake commercial for a movie.
Yeah.
That's in the movie to serve as a trailer or serve as a teaser. Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about the Super Mario show, so that was a fine element for me. In the trailer or in the movie, I thought it was fine. But it is an origin story. Never thought I would care to see a Mario origin story, but I liked it. I was like, okay.
You like their struggles as Italian plumbers trying to make it big in Brooklyn.
I do. I think.
Do you believe there's no sleep till Brooklyn?
No. Yeah. No. I think. I think it's just it's a good starting point. Kind of. I mean, it is generic. Mario.
It's generic, but it's unexpected because it's like Mario. You never would have thought this.
Well, no, I just mean as far as it's like Mario and Luigi, they're struggling. Their dad is not too happy with this decision.
First off, they showed their parents.
They showed their parents, and there was
whoever else. I guess cousins,
nephews, uncles.
Whoever?
I think one of them was their sister. I think.
Really?
Yes, I looked it up. One of them's listed as a sister. So I was like, okay, there's a whole Mario family.
Okay, sure.
And I was fine with it, but like I think what really sold me as far as the origins go was simply I like when the dad says, you're bringing your brother down. He's like, worst of it all, you're bringing your brother down. And I feel like that sets up, kind of one of the central themes of the film is their brotherly bond, and you could tell Mario's clearly hurt by the fact that his dad thinks he's bringing Luigi down with him. And Luigi, he looks up to Mario. And I like the dynamic that they set up in the beginning. Mario's protective of Luigi no matter what. Mm-hmm. Luigi is willing to go along with Mario, and he fully believes in Mario all the way, though Mario has some self-doubt issues. And I'm buying it right away. I'm like, I love this. I love it.
I love the setup for sure.
The setup was really good.
Yeah, it's a believable conundrum story. Yeah. I liked it. I honestly liked it. It was like, okay, you have me.
And let me say this too. We spent a good amount of time setting up. Let me just throw that out there. I think there was a good amount of time spent
in Brooklyn. Is
in Brooklyn?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna say that now because it's gonna come up later.
Okay.
But setup. There we go.
Let me ask, because this kind of bothered me in the movie. How old is Mario?
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
That part kind of got me.
Do you know what I'm referring to? Like
the fact that they live in their parents' house still.
No, because
their bedrooms are very.
Their bedrooms specifically look like they were like for a 10-year-old or something.
Obviously, if they start
I thought Mario had a race car bed.
If they started their own business, clearly. I'm thinking they're in their late 20s, early 30s. I'm thinking.
But those bedrooms, that's
I think that's part of growing up. That's part of growing up. They gotta get out the house. They gotta stop living in this childlike bedroom.
They're struggling. It makes you wonder what were their prior aspirations if they're this late in life, because like they just started this business. So what were they doing before? Were they carpenters? Ooh.
Well, no, they were working for Spike.
Yes. Yeah, right. He's the what? He's like not. He's just kind of like the bully. A
bully, sure.
The bully, the rival competition for plumbing.
Yeah. They had steady jobs with Spike, and they left and started their own business.
Silliness. But this element where they're kind of like establishing their business is really cool. I know in the commercial there was this like unconfirmed rumor that no one can really pinpoint if it's true or not. You know that girl in the ad of the one that's saying the only thing you unclogged was my wallet, or I don't know. So
Yes, she talks about the money they're saving. Yeah.
Right. Supposedly, because no one can really confirm it, supposedly that's the voice actress from Princess Peach from the original Super Mario Brothers TV series. Supposedly.
Don't know.
I don't know because no one can confirm it, even though people were saying it was true. And some people say it's on IMDb, but people can change that.
It's like cite your sources.
Cite your sources. IMDb is not a source. But either way, you also, while also getting this established, you also get to see, you know, like we said earlier, the Penguin Kingdom being sieged by the Koopa Kingdom. And let me just say, like, because we get introduced to him early on, Jack Black as Bowser was just perfect.
Oh yes.
There are certain things where, like, you know, when I want an actor to act themselves in a role, and other ones I don't. Like, I don't care for Seth Rogen to act like Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. I really don't. Banana Slammer. Like, no, I don't need that. But Jack Black, that's different though. Jack Black.
Hold on, I'm gonna stop you real quick. Don't you slander Seth Rogen's DK.
I'm
But
not,
go
I'm
ahead.
not slandering it. I'm
Sounds-
specifically when it comes to an actor or actress just acting themselves in a role. Like, for example, Jim Carrey as Eggman. I like seeing him just act like Jim Carrey in the role of Eggman.
Oh, okay, all right.
With
Continue with the
DK,
Bowser.
it's like, I don't care for Seth Rogen to just laughing Seth Rogen laughs. With Bowser, oh my God, they let Jack Black sing his heart out in the Bowser role. Did you like Bowser?
Well, let's talk about Bowser. I think, and again, I think this is because Miyamoto is there in this production. At the heart of it all, yes, Bowser is a giant dragon turtle, hell bent on marrying Princess Peach. Weirdly enough,
The obsession. I like how they played up that comedic obsession. It's just nonsensical.
Well, that's the thing.
No,
I
yeah,
think they leaned into the absurdity of Bowser, and it makes sense. Like, in every single game, he's trying to marry Peach. So in this movie, they're like, let's have him sing romantic ballads.
Oh my God, the piano scenes.
Let's
the
make him.
The piano scene was hilarious.
Well, they're over here, and I love it too.
Peaches.
He's got this low self-esteem. He's like over here, like, my Lord Bowser, Peach is traveling around with a mustache companion. Is she into him? Is she like swooning over him? And he's getting jealous. I think it's hilarious. His hatred towards Mario is purely out of jealousy.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything against him. Like, Mario is not even coming here saying, like, I'm gonna stop you, Bowser, from taking over the world. Bowser doesn't even know that.
No, it's like Mario's just like, dude, give me my brother. I don't give a crap about anything.
And I think this is so funny. I love that this, rivalry that we've had for 30 years, this movie is pinning it as Bowser is just jealous that Mario and Peach, I mean, they're hardly romantic in this movie, but he's just jealous. He's just jealous. And I think that's hilarious. And yes, I think leaning into Jack Black's style of comedy really works here.
The singing.
It's like the singing, but then it's also like, he's like, come sit with me, Kamek. And they start
Oh, that was good.
And then
I like that.
Then he slams the cover on his hand. So I'm like, okay, Bowser's still somewhat menacing,
No, and it's just like, can I lift it up, sire? And he's like, no, you haven't suffered enough.
No, the pain is a good lesson.
Pain is a good lesson.
It's like,
he just leaves.
Peach, I'm gonna go ahead and sacrifice all my prisoners as a wedding gift. She's like, what? I love it. I think Jack Black, perfect as Bowser. Yeah.
Perfect as Bowser. Solid casting.
Yeah, I just love it. Like, at first, it's like Bowser's very menacing. Like, it's like, do you yield? No. And he just destroys everything. And then he's just this jealous.
He's equal parts menacing and comedic. And
Oh,
Yeah.
what did he say? Takes a lot for a man to come out of his shell.
oh, yeah.
Did it work? I told you that was a stupid line.
I told you that was dumb.
He's like, you did well, sire.
Oh my god, yeah. No, Bowser easily, yeah, 100% good. Honestly, I like that little the Koopa party that he was having, and he was like riling up his troops to say, "We will conquer the Mushroom Kingdom. We will destroy the Jungle Kingdom as well." And everyone was like cheering, like, "Yeah, yeah." And they just said, "I will marry Princess Peach." And that's what they're like, "Why?"
No, there's one that says, what if she says no?
That was funny.
Absolutely.
There's one random. What if she says no?
The absurdity. They're over here saying,
It was good.
Bowser, she might not give consent.
She might not consent to all this. What are you gonna do if she says no? Bowser does not take consent. He does not
Bowser
take
does
consent into
say,
consideration.
it's like, I think if she says no, then away with her. It's like super like, what the
Then we will destroy the Mushroom Kingdom.
kingdom?
Oh man, no, it was solid. I mean, since we're talking about Bowser, I mean, we might as well address the other elephant in the room. I guess elephants, more or less, but there was one big elephant in particular. Chris Pratt as Mario.
Let's
How
talk about the
do-
cast. Let's
How
talk
do
about the
you
cast.
feel? Yeah, just characters in general.
Chris Pratt. I know everybody was skeptical at first. I know you, Dr. Jace. Is Chris Pratt phoning it in?
Because let me say this, the lines they chose to advertise in those trailers,
Which wasn't even in the film.
which were not, the most iconic one, Mushroom Kingdom, here we that's not even in the movie. He's not even in the movie. And it's like, maybe that was phoned in because that wasn't part of his performance in the movie. So he was just like, oh, okay, it's just for the trailer. Screw it. Let me just phone it in. I think he was fine.
I think he did great. yeah.
I think he did good.
Yeah, like my biggest fear in watching this movie was thinking, am I just gonna hear Chris Pratt's voice?
Yeah.
Right.
And I'll be honest, after the first 10 minutes, I completely forgot it was Chris Pratt.
Yeah,
I
I
had
was
no
just
idea.
like, well, I think what's so good about it too is that, well, one, I love in the beginning after the commercial played, they're like, "What's with the voice, man?"
Because he was using the Italian
correct,
voice.
correct. And so, they addressed it. They addressed the voice
Right.
concerns, and Charles Martinet had that clip right there.
Oh yeah, he was like a cameo.
He also played the dad as well. So
Oh, he did?
yeah, he had two roles. He played let's call him Jumpman, because he was essentially in his Jumpman outfit.
Oh, okay.
And then he played the dad, and even he was like, "It sounds good,"
That's funny.
So I like that. But then just in the games, Mario is just has the yippee wahoo, let's go.
Right.
We don't ever get to really hear him do full sentences, so it's like once he starts talking and really leaning into the character and the voice, you're just like, I guess I never heard Mario do a full-on sentence, so I guess I buy it. Because also I think Chris Pratt did a good job with the woohoo.
The go-kart scene. Woohoo!
Well, just the Mario mannerisms, I guess you call them.
I think he was spot on.
To where, once he nailed those, I was like, I'll take whatever else he's got.
So you're okay with Charles Martinet, I guess, not doing this role for an entire movie? I know there was a big fear that, can we watch 90 minutes of Italian accent, mamma mia, spaghetti, pizza pie? But like, I don't think Charles Martinet would have done all that to like that extent.
I don't think he would have done that either, but I understand this is, at the end of the day, Hollywood, and that's a whole nother
It's star power. It's Chris Pratt.
It is star power. It is very much, it is a numbers game.
Right.
Chris Pratt's going to get some people in seats, name recognition alone. But he did a good job, and I'm glad they at least gave Charles somewhat of a tribute in the film.
At least he's there. Like,
there.
They're acknowledging him.
And he's playing Mario's dad. So
of all things, yeah.
Well, that's very akin to, Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson getting roles in The Last of Us. Specifically Ellie, you know, Ashley Johnson played
the mother,
Ellie's mom.
Right.
You know, Charles Martinet is playing the Mario brothers' father. So it very much feels like a passing of the torch. So I'm fine with it. And it's a Hollywood game too. And I don't know the ins and outs of how that works. But Chris Pratt, I think, did a great job. I think the whole cast did a great job.
Yeah. Let's address that. Charlie Day as Luigi. I thought it was great.
Great. It was great.
Yeah, good performance. I heard more Charlie Day out of Luigi than I did Chris Pratt out of Mario. But to me, it's still like in my mental image of like Luigi, it still fit.
Yes.
It still fit like how I would expect him to speak or, you know, act.
Yes.
Some of these other names, it's up to you. Keegan-Michael Key, I know is Toad.
Toad. He was fun.
Can't believe that was him because that voice.
I don't. Yeah, I was like, damn, he's getting up there in his register.
Right.
I was like, are they modulating his voice? I couldn't tell. No, he did a great job. Anna Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach.
Yeah.
I think that was always going to be the biggest question mark.
Why is that? Because
I say that
from other people too.
I say that simply because one, most of her roles that I know are very kind of just solemn and melodramatic, very kind of monotone.
Okay.
Have y'all seen Queen's Gambit?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, Dr. Mondo, I knew you saw it. Or The Witch.
Mm-mm.
The horror movie. And then the other big thing, she had the
Northman.
The Northman, yeah, the Northman.
Oh, I haven't seen the Northman, but I know of the Northman.
So all her roles are these dramatic roles that don't really call for range. So I was curious to how she would do as Peach. I loved her as Peach.
I actually, Peach. you know, like a little, like going a little bit on Peach. I found it cool that Peach wasn't the damsel in distress in this movie.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh man, people are taking that on social media. They're like,
oh god, oh, people are so annoying.
People are babies.
Honestly, it was kind of cool. Like Peach was a badass.
She doesn't do anything out of character. It's like these people have never played anything from Smash Bros. Or Super Peach's Adventure on the DS.
I was gonna say Peach has her own spinoff where she does all this,
fights and she does all this stuff. And I'm like,
just gonna say, in like, you know, the obstacle course that Peach it takes Mario to right at the beginning that she does in like one fell swoop.
Yeah.
The end, she does the Peach glide, the recovery.
Oh yeah,
the
glide. Yeah,
he does the glide, and I'm like, they did it. They did it.
There are a lot of things where it's Leo DiCaprio, the meme.
Oh, wow.
Pointing.
You could paste that meme like 30 times.
There's plenty.
But I liked Peach as it's just like she's the princess. She's gonna save her kingdom.
I like it because
she's a badass.
In any other scenario, I'm just thinking of her as a boring character. If she's just there with no agency and she's just sitting on her throne, just like begging Mario for help, it's like, you guys wanted that character instead? Like, it's so dumb.
We did have one boring character.
Ooh, who?
And in my opinion, it was Luigi. Luigi at the beginning.
Luigi? Oh. Okay.
No, let's talk about Luigi. Let's talk about
Luigi. This was one of the elements of the film that I did not like, in the sense of, I liked what they established in the beginning, which we touched on earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the brotherly bond that they did with Luigi and Mario. Once they get isekai'd right into the Mushroom Kingdom, Luigi gets sent to some dark
lands.
The dark lands. Mario goes to the Mushroom Kingdom. Luigi, so there were some callbacks here to Luigi's Mansion that I liked, you know, with the flashlight and him calling out for Mario, all that jazz. But Luigi gets captured, right?
And he does nothing else in the entire movie.
He does nothing else in the whole movie. And for me, I'm thinking like a good film is going to build Luigi up to, because when Luigi gets captured, there's this brief little flashback that he has to when Mario and him were kids.
Baby Mario, baby Luigi.
Baby Mario.
I love that scene too.
I love that scene. Another Leonardo DiCaprio. There it is.
Yes.
That was really nice, and I thought that was a stepping stone to build up to the movie, like Luigi having this big moment, not at the end of the film, but to like escape from Bowser's castle, or like realize that he needs to rescue himself, because the entire movie, Luigi's just like, Mario, where are you?
So
the entire movie.
So talking about, the illumination curse, right? And talking about things they could have done better. They could have stand for a little bit of a longer runtime. I'm not gonna sit here and say this is what they should have done. Had they done though a longer runtime, we could have maybe got that gradual buildup of Luigi's character versus jumping from him being captured to what I think was a great ending for his character. However, we didn't get that buildup.
In between. Like
what we got was the illumination curse, and we had
what was the illumination curse?
The Luma, the minion element.
Oh my god.
The Luma.
Yeah.
Which was funny the first time. The Luma just being dragged out. And funny enough, even the penguins were like, please, somebody shut him up.
I feel like that was supposed to represent us. The penguins shut this thing up. Like, oh my god. Like, it was funny the first time. It was funny.
Every time we checked in on Luigi, it
was Luma trying to take the spotlight.
Right. And so, so Luigi, Charlie Day still does a great job, and we'll talk about the finale, but that is, one of the weaker elements of the film. And then even so much to say, Luigi gets sidelined in what now doesn't become the Mario Bros film.
It becomes Mario. It's really Mario and Peach.
Well,
the movie's Mario
and Peach, but what you get instead of kind of Mario and Luigi like going on this adventure, it is Mario and Peach, but in Toad. But now they throw in the Donkey Kong element, which very much, I love Donkey Kong, and I love that he's here. Can we talk about the Donkey Kong segment?
Donkey Kong segment was cool.
The Donkey Kong segment was I guess the Smash Bros element that I like tying in a character you usually don't associate with Mario, like world building. There's a kingdom of Kongs in the world of Mario, and it's just basically a kingdom of monkeys. No. Basically.
Why do you say we don't associate Donkey Kong with Mario? There's no Mario without Donkey Kong.
Typically, when you play Super Mario 64, do you see Donkey Kong? No. When you play Mario Odyssey, do you see Donkey Kong? I'm not talking about his origins. I say typically you don't expect, like, there are, like, your Wario, your Yoshi, all these other characters. He stems from the original Donkey Kong video game.
However, he is a staple in the Mario Party and Mario spin-off games.
So is Star Fox. So is Samus.
No.
In the Mario Party video games?
Samus has never been in a Mario Party game.
Never.
I'm talking about Mario Party and Mario Kart and Mario Strikers and Mario Tennis. DK has always had a presence.
Interesting.
So I think, as far as a larger Nintendo verse goes, I think it makes sense that the Kongs are here.
I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I just wasn't expecting it outside of, until they showed it. I thought it was just going to be mutually build up the Mario verse. Your jungle of Yoshis, which we did see a jungle or like
briefly
a forest of Yoshis. We get to see just kind of like all the power-ups in their universe, like the Fire Star,
I think what they did with the power-ups was good. I think just kind of the element of this is how we fight. This is how we stand a chance. However, if you get hit, you lose the power up.
And they don't bother like going into that, which I'm okay with, because like I thought there would be a question of, okay, but why do you lose the power when you get hit?
No, just
don't ask.
Don't get hit.
Don't get hit.
Don't get hit.
Yeah.
And no, I think the power ups were great. And then funny enough, we don't see every Mario power up. Like he doesn't get to do the fire. We don't get to see Fire Mario. He's about to, and then it gets blown out.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he doesn't get to do it. We see the
I
classic.
thought he did it with DK, but that was the mushroom.
I also kind of found it funny that Mario hates mushrooms.
Fun. I thought
they were gonna do something with.
I thought
that.
They were gonna build that up. I thought it was gonna be the third act of the film when he finally eats the super mushroom,
because it's in the beginning, right? He's eating spaghetti or whatever.
I hate mushrooms, man.
He's putting the mushrooms
on Luigi's plate.
I'll eat the mushrooms.
That was funny. That was funny.
Well, like the super mushroom, like it would have been cool if they put it, but you know what would have also been cool, and like maybe I'm just skipping a lot here. Giga Bowser.
Hold up. Okay,
hold on.
Whoa, slow your roll.
That's Squeakquel territory.
Hold up. Back to the DK verse.
All right, you wanted to skip to DK, not Giga Bowser, but you wanted to skip to DK.
Well, Giga Bowser's not in the movie. The DK verse is in the movie.
So let's skip to DK then.
We didn't skip to DK. We're here. We talked about,
Fine, DK. I know your ass was losing it during this segment, and I wonder what element was contributing to that. But
oh, stop.
Either way, this was a fun romp. In the DK Kingdom, again, an element that kind of took away from it was the Aha song. Take on Me.
Okay.
That kind of
because now we're talking about songs.
No, that it's in the DK.
I like
intro.
that one. That song worked, and I've actually I really enjoyed that song playing as they're.
I
in
think
the
you
car.
like the song. I don't think you'll like it when they're coming into the DK.
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it.
I thought that was probably one of the better uses of music in the film.
Take on Me when they go into the jungle kingdom.
It felt nice going through the carts. It felt nice.
At this point, if you make a Squeakquel, you would be accepting of Welcome to the Jungle from Guns N' Roses.
Was that Funky Kong driving that car?
Yes,
okay,
that was the Funky Kong bit.
Okay, cool. Okay, really quick on music because I want to talk about DK.
Fine, just talk about
I need a
DK.
hero. I need a hero.
Did you like that?
No.
Okay, so there are some songs you liked and some that you didn't. Some licensed songs.
I can't believe we got I Need a Hero again. Are you kidding me?
Again in what?
We just saw it in Shazam.
Oh, you mean again just in pop culture?
Yeah,
it's coming up.
It's getting saturated. And I feel like people are not understanding when to use a song like that.
That was not the time.
The definitive moment is in your third act, as established by Shrek 2, the greatest film of all time, second only to Puss in Boots' Last Wish. But you don't use this for a training montage. Like, what? It just not only did it feel like, oh my god,
like,
this
honestly,
again, but it felt like, why is this here? Like,
honestly, it just would have
sense.
been funnier to, like, granted, like, I don't know, like, there are copyright issues and all that. It would have just been funnier that when Mario was in his training montage, just put the Rocky theme just for shits and giggles.
Well, interestingly enough, all the licensed songs they used were 80s songs. I noticed that after I kind of replayed them in my head. Yeah, they were all 80s tracks. So that element is cool. But the score of this movie
to that Illumination curse that you mentioned.
Because
like a cheap way to like get licensed songs to be like, hey, what's popping?
The other Illumination movies make sense that they have licensed songs because they more or less take place in our world, to where, Aha playing.
Okay, right, like Despicable Me.
Right. The Sing movies, obviously they got this.
Sing makes sense, even though
Sing makes sense.
Yeah, Sing makes sense.
But Sing makes sense, yes.
But yeah, no, it's weird when they play in the mushroom. It is weird. However, that Aha playing during the Enter the Kong Kingdom, I actually really enjoyed that one.
I liked it.
Visually too. Visually, that scene was really nice.
Visually, yes, I like it. I'm only speaking on like the music bit that I did not like. The visual element, I liked them going in the carts and like speeding around the Kong Kingdom.
Yes,
I think what I would have preferred, because I saw elements of this, the original soundtrack, when they mixed in the OST with like the themes that we were freaking out. Like in the theater, the crowd was freaking out. I was like, oh my god, this is what I want.
I would have preferred
let's
that.
play Take on Me.
I would have preferred that
scene.
more than the licensed songs, because Brian Tyler, I think, did the score. I think he did a great job incorporating the themes throughout the movie, to where they do take a backseat the moment. Thunder.
Okay, that one I liked.
So everybody has one they like.
I think
Dr. Mondo likes
you have
No
a couple.
Sleep Till Brooklyn. You like this one.
You like Escape Till Brooklyn. Oh my god. No Sleep Till Brooklyn.
I like Aha. I like Aha.
Okay, that's the only one you like.
No, I mean, that was the one I thoroughly liked.
Okay. The one where they're picking the car, that fits. That just fits. They're building their Mario Kart.
And I looked at you and I was like, wait, let them cook. Because I was like, let them cook.
I naturally did, because we just got off of Aha. And I'm like, oh my god, again.
I like this. I like it. Okay, hold up real quick.
Yes, your kingdom, the Kong Kingdom. Oh,
I love the Kong Kingdom.
You love that particular scene from the Kong Kingdom.
No, I just like the fact that, so again, here are elements of the story that I thought were good, and still they could have done it a little better. Mario and DK kind of had a parallel to each other.
They could have fleshed this out a little more.
They could have fleshed it out more. It seemed rushed. This is where I think they could have benefited from a longer runtime. DK has daddy issues just like Mario does, you know. However, you know, Mario and Luigi's dad blatantly says, you know, he doesn't agree with their decisions and whatnot. I didn't really get that Cranky Kong was not proud of Donkey Kong, except
I think it's just it's like your image, like Cranky Kong with like Donkey Kong. It's like, okay, it's not that I'm not proud of you, is that like you gotta grow up.
Yes, stop the showboating. Stop the
showboating.
It's like stop the showboating. Stop the bullshit. You know, just get the job done.
And like, even with that, like it didn't even seem like I never bought Cranky Kong was disappointed.
Exactly.
I just thought it's like a dad with their son. Like, oh my god, can you stop doing that? That's so annoying. Like, just that's all I saw it as. But then you get that heartfelt scene in the eel with Mario and DK, and DK's like, my daddy doesn't love me, and I'm like, what?
Well, your dad's right.
Well, that's right. Why is he such an ass, man? God.
Because he's a kid. DK. I actually really like Seth Rogen as DK. He's just this pig-headed showboater. He's like, you know, all right, yeah, DK, the Donkey Kong.
Okay, the Donkey Kong rap was really funny. For them to play that was really nice.
Oh, so good. Come on, man. The DK rap. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought that was perfect?
And of course, I told you, I said I said I would be mad if this movie didn't include who?
Diddy Kong.
And all right, everybody settle down. Even you, Diddy Kong.
It wasn't just him there either.
It wasn't just him there. It was.
He had. I always mix these two.
Well, they like interchange them. Trixie,
Daisy or Trixie? Which one?
I think it's Trixie.
Trixie Kong.
And then there was he's from 64.
No, I think he's from Donkey Kong Country 3. The other monkey that was with him.
He's also in 64 with the backwards cap, right?
Did he have a backwards cap?
Yeah.
I know there's a big one in 64, but I don't know. I knew there's a lot of Kongs in the Kong mythos of Donkey Kong Country and Donkey Kong 64. There was Diddy, there was Trixie, and there were other Kongs in there from those games that when they make the Donkey Kong movie, which they will make a Donkey Kong movie, you're gonna see a lot more of them. And maybe you'll have that element of the whole father-son thing explored a little bit more. Maybe it'll be fleshed out in there.
I would love that. I would honestly love that.
That would be very, very funny.
It leaves a lot to be desired. So I think they did a really good job with the Kongs and not over giving us too much of the Kongs. But also, I mean, we talked about a little, as far as power-ups. I actually enjoyed the mini mushroom bit.
That was perfect. I literally, when we saw the mushroom, we're like, oh no, he's gonna eat the blue mushroom.
And I like the fact that the power-ups are known throughout these kingdoms. He's like,
yes,
he ate the blue one.
Right. It's not a mystery. I mean, they had the cat suit.
They had the cat. Okay, I think that's a deep cut because
that
we're not just getting the classic ones.
Deep.
Well, what I mean is the cat suit is
that's super. That's the one on the Wii U.
The Wii U, right? Which I don't think is 10 years old at this rate.
Yeah, it's not.
So in a Mario Brothers movie, being the first one, you probably only thought you would get like the fire, the super,
maybe Tanuki.
Maybe Tanuki, right? But
which we did get. We got that.
Well, we did.
Cool.
We got Tanuki.
But we got the cat suit, and I'm like, and they made good use of the cat suit. Like I like the Mario versus DK sequence.
That was nice. That was really cool.
No, honestly, I'm just gonna say like the fight sequences in this movie.
It was peak. Again, it goes to
fire.
That. It goes to I see what you did there.
Fire. I see.
But it goes to that illumination. What they do right and what they do really well. Like they just know how to animate really, really well, and it goes into that bouncy and stretchiness of the characters. That's why that fight scene with the cat and the cat suit and DK, that was just freaking awesome. I just liked how he was just jumping all over him, scratching his face and everything. But
that looked like a hidden lotus. What he did to DK there.
Actually,
kind of. It did.
Yeah,
it did.
Maybe they drew inspiration.
And that was just like all the gates open.
Ooh. I'm gonna tell you right now, we're gonna see in the next Smash Bros. Mario's one of his moves is gonna be the cat.
The cat, sure.
Whatever. Okay. The cart sequence.
I was gonna say let's talk on Peach real quick because we glossed over Peach.
We're back to Peach. Okay, what?
Well, I mean the whole thing with her backstory and her as a character.
Oh, sure, yes.
She supposedly got isekai'd in here. I thought it would be something they were not gonna address. I thought it was gonna be one of those things that they just accept that she's the princess in this kingdom. Don't care she's a mushroom. Don't ask. Just accept it. No, they actually address it. They're like, I don't know how I got here. I came here as a kid.
I think that. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, and they raised me as their own, and I became their princess. I feel like they're leaving room to touch on that.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. I think purposefully because in the games they never explored Peach's background like that. Like, what is Daisy? Daisy's her sister.
I don't know. I know Daisy's the love, the second helpings for Luigi. It's just silliness. But yes, I don't know if her and Peach are related in any way.
Yeah, sure. Whatever. Either way, it's like, should they choose to further the mythos and kind of, again, Miyamoto is here, so I imagine everything that they do, it has this stamp of approval. Mm-hmm. We can play around with the mythos of Peach. Maybe she did actually come from the human world, maybe Daisy is her long lost cousin. Maybe Rosalina will be in Peach's future.
I mean, we saw the Luma, the grading Luma. But yeah, it's they purposely, like, that whole thing with Peach practically opened up the door for the MCU, Dr. Mondo. I know you're excited about that. It opened up the NCU, Nintendo Cinematic Universe, because Peach's whole thing with that was like there's multiple galaxies out there, probably referencing Super Mario Galaxy, but I mean, that to me, that's paving the way for a potential like eventual Smash Bros, but like we're gonna start making Zelda movies, Metroid movies. Oh my god, honestly, that's exciting.
Like that's Zelda and Metroid.
Yes.
So Zelda and Metroid alone.
Star Fox.
Finish this movie. Hold up. Finish this movie first.
No, but that's part of the movie. That's just a mention, like, because to me that's tied into Peach's whole backstory. She comes from another world. We don't even know if that's like the Brooklyn world. She just comes from another world.
I don't know. I want us to get into kind of the grander scheme of the Nintendo verse, but
fine. Let's go into your go-kart scene, your Mario Kart.
Stop it. This scene was great too.
Rainbow Road.
No, not like they did so many things great in this scene because very like tiny details.
Set it up perfectly, and
so,
then pause at the moment. Pause at the moment.
Okay.
So we get into Rainbow Road, and then obviously Bowser's goons, they ambush the DK army, right? And you see, like, this is a full-on Mario Kart race.
This was great.
With items, with all that, and like even the shortcut. Mario takes a freaking shortcut. He does the drifts, and he's
drifting.
You see the sparks, the way they turn. And I'm like, god damn.
You see the gravity stuff too. From Mario Kart 8.
Yep,
the gravity. You see everything, and then obviously that Koopa. He's like, oh no, you ain't.
Okay.
Hold on.
Go ahead. Because
they built this so well because he's clearly the bounty hunter, Bowser's right hand almost, or he's leading this army.
He's leading the charge in this Mario Kart dash.
Right. And the items. So when they're using items, for example, like the Koopas, Mario would land on them, they would turn into the shells, and he would throw them, right? And you were like, oh, cool, just like the items, right? The Kongs were throwing banana peels, the bombs were being dropped. Cool, items, right? Items are here. It's Mario Kart.
Right.
And so, Mario has this elongated little bit with this dude in his big cart, gets his cart chomped, climbs up the dude's cart and makes him crash, and this guy has character. He's like, how dare you, Mario? And then he crashes, and you're like, oh, great, home free, they're good.
I thought he was an NPC. I thought he was all NPC, right. He's taken care of. Next.
Right. And like in Terminator fashion.
I thought they were gearing up for a Terminator joke. I'm like, oh, are they gonna do this?
Oh, this I think was probably it sent me. I
know it sent you.
Listen, Mario, how dare you? I will do anything for Bowser. Blue Shell.
When he shouted "Blue Shell," I think that was the one point in the movie that I screamed because I was not expecting it. And for anyone that's played Mario Kart, you know how deadly the blue shell is. So when he's coming out like Terminator style, saying Mario, blue shell, I don't know what it was about it. It just sent me. And it did what it did. It went straight to whoever was in first place. Boom, destroyed any momentum they had.
Oh, it was perfect.
No, like the card scene was honestly perfect.
It was
really. It was.
And again, a credit to this movie. they, you know, because the Mario games are not necessarily, you know, we have cinematic video games that have very cinematic moments like God of War, The Last of Us, Uncharted, you know. So when those movies or IPs get adapted, it's really easy to kind of recreate cinematic moments for actual cinema. Mario doesn't have that. So this movie did a really good job at taking, you know, the side-scrolling elements, the party elements of Mario, and just, you know, shoot. Even the, you know, the Donkey Kong fight was very Donkey Kong arcade at times. They made it cinematic, and they made it fun, and you don't get that in the game. So that's something they had to overcome, is like, how do we make these moments in the game that are clearly fun because people have been playing them for 40 years, but how do we make them cinema? And I think like this is cinema. This was great. Like I think part of why the Blue Shell was so funny is just because that's what we feel.
How unexpected.
But that's like what we feel when we play the game. You're in first place and here comes a blue shell, and like you're about to win, you think it's over, and the blue shell just fucks it up.
Yeah, that was. It's like poetry.
It is, yeah. I mean, and the movie has many moments like that, so I think that's a credit to this movie. Yeah,
it was. No, it was
honestly, the cart scene was one of my favorite, if not my favorite scene in the entire movie.
Sure.
No, it was good. I mean, after you get that cart scene, like Mario DK, they have their, I use this very loosely, their heart-to-heart, whatever the hell that was. And
needed more screen time.
Needed more screen time. I feel like this was a prime Mario and Luigi moment that should have happened, because usually you have this at the end of your second act where you had this big climax in the second act, and now you're in the downtime with your characters where they start to reflect on, oh man, I wish I was more than what I am right now. And that this should have been a Luigi moment with Mario, but it wasn't.
I agree.
So you fast forward, Princess Peach, Mushroom Kingdom's getting destroyed. She now has to bend the knee to Bowser and marry him. And some of these are cool callbacks. Again, there's callbacks everywhere, but I like how the outfit that he's wearing is his Mario Odyssey tuxedo.
Yeah.
That was really cool. I like that. But again, putting Luigi in that damsel in distress thing, what was it? He was going to sacrifice.
He's going to sacrifice all the prisoners, who now include the Kongs, as a wedding gift.
Right. And it's like, I mean, the idea was cool, but again, Luigi just being there and not doing really anything.
And the movie, we really were waiting for Luigi to step up.
I thought he was going to step up outside of the ending, because I'm not counting that. I'm talking about like just this build up
in this final fight. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And
wish we would have had it.
He doesn't do it. He just doesn't. He doesn't do it. But Bowser, Mario, they fight a little bit. I think they fire a missile at the Mushroom Kingdom. So
do you remember in Smash Bros, if you played at Peach's Castle, the giant bullet bill would come and cause a giant explosion?
I don't remember which Smash was that. Was that
that's Melee? It's Melee.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't play Melee too much.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's the vibe that gave, which was I thought was nice. It literally heads for Peach's Castle, and if you get caught in it, it's a giant explosion.
Okay.
But no, this was good too. I guess this is the prelude to the final fight. The Brooklyn sequence is like the finale. Right. I like DK getting a power up. That's not something we ever seen before.
Yeah.
I wish the trailer didn't ruin that. That could have been a great surprise.
That could have been a great moment, because you don't see DK with power up. So for him to get fire and him go through this sequence with Mario where they're like jumping on all these random Koopas and fighting them, that was really cool. I like that.
I think again, Mario's a 2D side scroller for the most part. And in the 3D games, move like this, not as fast. Yeah, and yeah, it's a credit to the animation. They did a really good job during these action sequences. It flowed, the action was visible, and it was fun. And then again with the power-ups too. I guess we never knew how many power-ups would be in this film.
You knew the mushroom was gonna be in it.
We knew the mushroom, right?
Peach's ice flower.
Peach
The
gets
ice. Okay, I was not expecting
flower.
the ice flower. The ice
Me
flower
neither.
was pretty nice.
That was nice. That was nice. And then, but when that leaf came out, that was another kind of
Oh, what's he
know?
gonna do? Because you
He's
knew
like-
every time they hit a block, they were not gonna just repeat what they already used already. They're gonna try something fresh and different. So that was nice. I
yeah.
like seeing that.
And then, the Tanuki suit did its thing. He diverts the bill, sends it to Brooklyn. They all get sucked in. And now we enter the final fight. Anything else before we hear in the final fight? Did you want to mention Miss King Bomb?
I mean, King Bomb is there. He's sleeping. I found it fun. I found it funny that everyone in the audience of the movie was like running around screaming when things were going crazy or fighting. And I remember looking over and he's like, "Is King Bomb sleeping?" Because he's just there. But like I noticed it when the camera wasn't even focused on him. He's the only one not moving. And they did it like 2 or 3 times. I'm like, I think he's sleeping. I think he's asleep. And then they finally show him, and he was asleep. And what I think someone ignites his
They ignite him.
his fuse, and he explodes. You saw King Boo at the wedding.
Yep.
That was neat.
Very neat.
But yeah, other than that, you get into the final sequence. Bowser just, doing his Bowser thing to Mario. Yeah, you're a loser.
Again, all stemming from jealousy.
All jealousy. That's all that it is. I mean, he had a little bit of a moment when he's in he got like punched into like a building.
Oh, the
Yeah,
pizza. He's in the pizza place.
Yeah, it's in the pizza place.
Mm.
That it's like he's actually afraid, and he's actually starting to believe, wow, I really am a loser. Like there isn't, like I'm a nobody. I'm not gonna do anything. This is pointless. This is futile. And then like the commercial pops up.
Right.
Yes,
The
this was a
commercial was
good
nice.
moment.
Like the
Commercial was
commercial
nice.
pops up, and he remembers. It's like, oh, like no, like I'm not a loser. Like, and that like before that, like the fight with DK, he would just keep on standing up, and Peach was like, man, you don't
You
know,
don't give up.
you don't know when to stay down. So finally, like he goes and confronts Bowser, saying like, fuck it, like, like I'm almost like I'm gonna die trying here. Like I'm just not gonna bend the knee to you.
Very noble.
And like he's ready to and he sees the star and all that. Then he goes to the star, but like Bowser's fire blast comes at him, and he's like, I'm not gonna reach the star. And then that's Luigi's moment.
Okay.
Your
So,
Captain America shield.
well, so with the video too, when he saw the commercial, it was the Mario Brothers.
It was
Brooklyn.
Mario Brothers. It's like
Brothers,
Right.
he
that
starts
was another
remembering.
that was another theme too that Mario kept saying throughout the film, was that if we stick together, nothing can beat us.
Yep.
And again, we kind of already spoke about how Luigi's story could have been better. His
Mhm.
arc very much though is about him overcoming his fearful nature. And maybe that is why we don't see him step up early on in the film. I mean, I think it's more or less they messed that up.
I feel like they messed it up. I
Yeah.
wanted to see more. Like, there's elements to this
Glimpses, like
movie.
you could
Oh.
have glimpses.
Yes.
Right.
Like you could have like throughout the movie glimpses of Luigi's courage, but like it's not like full on. Like he does one thing that you're like, whoa, okay, like a coward wouldn't do this, but he kind of like reverts back.
Right.
know-
No, it would have been good for him to very much test and tease
Yeah, tease,
Courage.
like have these glimpses, have these little moments that maybe didn't like finish in anything, you know, like it was just maybe like a failed attempt to get out, you know.
Yeah, like
I
he
guess the only
challenges Bowser or something.
Like it could
to,
have been like a
his
failed
authority.
attempt to get out, and you know, like they beat him up and they put him back in the cage. Okay, but like you're seeing a fight. You're
He's
seeing a fight in
trying.
Luigi, like something that before he would just like sit down and take it, and like no, now he's not. Like he's separated from his brother. It's like, and he's like he doesn't know where Mario. It would have been like a nice little dynamic saying, you know, because Mario knew where Luigi was, but Luigi didn't know where the hell Mario was. And you
Right.
know, Luigi could have been worrying for Mario, and it could have been like not just like, oh my god, Mario saved me, as in, you know, holy shit, I don't know where Mario is.
Right.
Like it's like it might be up to me, like to save Mario, and like they could have played with that.
I think in a more fleshed out story, you probably would have gotten something like that.
Which
Yeah,
is again, I think screen time, because I'll tell
I
you.
feel, you know, I know we keep saying screen time.
No, let me tell you why. Because there
go
are
ahead.
certain parts you can take out that didn't really do anything for us. The overextended plumbing scene.
Wait, when you say screen time, are you saying add in more screen time?
One, if you can either add in more screen time for
I feel-
elements like this,
I feel like you don't
or-
have to.
or
You can take out.
okay, and you can take out elements such as that dog scene that overstayed.
That was
its
literally
welcome.
Doug from Pixar. From
Yeah,
I mean, it was a dog from Secret Life of Pets, but
it wasn't necessary.
that's an illumination. That's an illumination.
That's an illumination. Yeah, that's an
We-
illumination. thing.
not
The songs
necessary.
were an illumination thing too.
I mean, I had more of a problem with the illumination scenes over the songs, but you know, take that part out, give us more time with Luigi. You know,
Yeah.
I think, you know, those types of scenes we do not need. That's illumination saying, okay, we'll give you this, but we want this. You know,
Right. It's their checklist. It's their checklist.
but even with all, I mean, and again, we didn't talk about this. You know, Luigi is a good-hearted person. I like in his interrogation scene when Bowser is, you know, pulling his mustache, and you know, he's like, "I'll never give up Mario. He's the greatest guy." You know, stuff like that. But then again, we don't see anything with it, so I'm left with just what we were given with. And I think that Baby Mario scene hits hard here when Luigi finally does step up with his Captain America shield, very much. And he's losing against that fire. And then he looks at Mario like, well, nothing can beat us when we stick together.
yeah.
And I loved it. But what happens? They get knocked into the star?
Actually,
No,
remember,
I think
I think they kind of like press like they press against the sewer grate, you know, that's acting as the shield, and then they turn around,
yeah.
right, and then they jump towards the star.
They jump towards the star. Bowser's flame just like blows the sewer.
Oh, so the star was behind them. Okay.
the star was
Yeah, the star
behind
was
them.
behind them. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
So, and like Bowser's flame just like finishes off the
And they think-
like
they
the
think they're
makeshift
dead.
shield, and
They
he's
think
like,
they're dead.
I got them. And then he sees them like, oh, the star.
Okay.
It's a
I think this
ability
is
star.
another great moment. I mean, we've seen this type of ending before. This is very supersonic-esque. It gives me On Your Left vibes as well.
What?
Yeah, just the moment where you think all is lost, and then you really have this badass moment.
On your left.
I wouldn't call it On Your Left.
It is the thought that all was lost, which they
I
literally
thought
thought
the
they
point of
lost.
On Your Left was all is lost. Here's the reinforcements you did not expect to get.
I'm not talking about how it actually plays out. I'm talking about the feelings.
Sure, they were on death's door, so to speak,
Yes.
and
Yes.
they
That was Mario and Luigi becoming Super Saiyans. Bro.
those were their
Yeah.
Chaos Emeralds. their
But it was
power
great.
star.
It was great because one, the song plays.
Which song plays?
The invincibility. song.
But like, you see, this is what I wanted. Instead of stupid aha for random scenes, they could have taken classic themes and make because it wasn't just they played the invincibility song. They mixed in like an original soundtrack that incorporated the invincibility theme in there. And that, to me, that was like, oh my God, look, they're playing it. But it's like part of the movie. It's like an actual song they mixed and composed. They just didn't buy the license for, I need a hero. Can you imagine that played here?
I would have hated it. 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 Listen, they did it though. They did it. They did what you wanted. And it was great. And Luigi was doing his thing finally.
Yes.
And it was wonderful.
It was nice seeing all the, like, when they try to swing on them with hammers, like the hammers would like they would just stand there, but like the hammers would disintegrate. It's like hitting a wall. It's like hitting a wall.
And then I like what Bowser tried to kick them and they don't even flinch.
Oh my God, that to me, I know it's not a callback to this, but that to me was Cell Max versus Beast Gohan, because he punches them, or no, he kicks them. He kicks them, right?
He kicks them, yeah.
He kicks them, and they don't flinch, and that's like, oh my God, that's Cell Max punching Gohan and Gohan not moving. That was cool.
It was great. It was great. And then you looked at me. If they don't do the Bowser toss.
With the tail, I was like, they're gonna do it. I know they are. And they did it. They did it. The toss.
No, like honestly, that scene was so freaking good.
It was really good. It was really
like good. At one point, I was just like, for shits and giggles, it would have been like really funny saying like in one of those scenes that they just like take a random hammer or something and do the smash hammer.
Oh my God, that would have been funny.
That would have been it would have been so freaking funny. Like but that's like the the Super Mario Bros. Invincibility versus Bowser.
That was good.
That was like the animation was so good there.
It was really good.
And that's the part where I was like, I really wanted, like, it would have been really cool if it was Giga Bowser though.
Oh my gosh. No. It was fine.
Squeakquel.
Yeah, save that stuff. But they did do, and I said this, and Dr. J said no, when they punched Bowser up and then they brought him back down. That's the from Smash Brothers.
Yes.
That's the what?
It's your downward smash attack, your aerial smash attack. Mario and Luigi both have it. Well, no, mostly Mario has.
Oh, I thought you were saying that was their ultimate, their smash.
No,
I'm like,
their
it's not.
Smash attack. Their smash attack.
When I hear smash attack, I'm hearing the smash ball. Like,
oh, see, because you don't play enough Smash Bros. Smash attack is your basic attacks that you can hold and charge.
Okay.
For more power.
Okay.
That's what that was. And it is that because the body angle and the way it works.
Like basically it was the spike.
Spike. Okay, that's the proper term. Sorry.
Wow. Interesting.
They did the spike.
Was still not a smash though, but spike is when you do it.
No,
down
like because I think they did like the Mario Luigi punch.
They did. Yeah.
Like they did the Mario Luigi punch, and then they did the spike.
Yeah,
and I was like,
bro,
you don't play enough Smash. You don't know the term.
Listen,
dummy.
Look here, listen.
Dummy.
I still know it's a Smash, and it was beautiful.
Goodness. That was that. Oh wow, that would have been nice if that phrase came on. KO. But they defeat Bowser. They stick a poison tiny mushroom in his mouth. They put him in a jar. He's stuck in a jar now, playing his piano in the Mushroom Kingdom prison. And I mean, the film kind of just ends like, happily ever after. so to
It
speak.
felt a little rushed.
It felt a little rushed, you know. It just, you know, bing bang boom, Mario and Luigi. They said, "Screw Brooklyn, we're moving to the Mushroom Kingdom." Here we come. They went straight to the Mushroom Kingdom. I'm like, oh, sure, okay,
I
fine.
like that.
That's cool. It's just
It
they became accustomed to it very quickly. It's like they were born there. It's like they were born there. And that's pretty much it. Yay, Toad and Peach and Mario Luigi, they're friends again. Or I guess they're just friends in general.
Well, you know what would have been really cool? They just if this is gonna be the Smashverse, then it's like it just like jumps on saying like, and there's like a council, and it's like Ganondorf is there saying,
"Whoa,
oh my goodness, wait,
you need
wait."
And he would have been like,
look,
so I see he failed.
No, I gotta.
There was a post-credit scene. I honestly thought, you know, they were going to build up like a Smashverse in the sense of they already teased Galaxies. Maybe they want to tease their next film that they want to tackle. Maybe it's a Zelda. Maybe you see a green tunic. Maybe you see Samus charging up something. Doesn't have to relate to Mario. It's
maybe you see F-Zero. Maybe you see F-Zero.
Maybe you see F-Zero. More or less just a nod to be like, hey, you like this Nintendo movie? This might be the next one we do. They won't cross over with Mario yet, but this is the next film we'll do. They didn't do that. I think you would have had the audience like up, you know, screaming at the top of their lungs. But what you get a Yoshi egg, a green Yoshi egg, the Yoshi egg at the very end. That was still nice. It was like, oh, okay, Yoshi's gonna be in the next one.
Kind of, I guess there was a question mark as to why is Yoshi not in this film when they got all the other Mario.
We do see Yoshis though.
We see Yoshis, but
we see Yoshis, but we don't see the Yoshi.
But I would say Yoshi was the only like major Mario character missing from this film.
Wario?
Yoshi is more original than Wario.
More original?
Like he's older than Wario.
Next movie is there. Yoshi's gonna be in it, and we're likely gonna see Wario and Waluigi.
Well, this is okay. So this is what I say as far as kind of the Smashverse. I think it's smart of them to first just flesh out the Mario related characters. So in the next film, there's a good chance. Yeah, well, I mean, Yoshi obviously will be in it. Yeah, there is a good chance. You know, I'm sure fans would love to see Wario and Waluigi.
I feel like they're gonna go all out in a squeakquel. I mean, they will make a squeakquel. It's not confirmed.
They're gonna.
They will make one.
This thing is breaking records. It's like right now for April openings, it's like second to Endgame.
That's insane. In terms of opening weekend numbers.
Opening weekend numbers, right?
Jesus.
And again, what's the biggest thing about it is this is Easter weekend.
Oh my!
Easter. I mean, it hasn't even hit the weekend yet. They
have the Easter holiday.
No, like honestly,
parents are gonna be taking their kids.
No, like my movie theater was full.
Yeah, our theater was pretty packed.
Like on a Wednesday at 7:30. I think if I'm not mistaken, I got the last seat.
Yeah, no, I believe it. I believe it. Okay, Illumination already has their kid target audience like on lock. Like those kids are gonna come up for any.
But yeah, but they have like, but here it's like Super Mario Bros. You're taking an enormous generation.
Yeah, no, that's the other part of it. Is there's such a strong fan
like
base.
the nostalgia factor, and like honestly, again, just the idea that the Smashverse might happen. That is huge.
You really want the Smash.
This is.
I do want the Smashverse. Like
you can want it, but you gotta. And again, it's kind of like.
But that's the thing. It's like that's what I'm trying to get at. It's like it's not confirmed or anything. You know, like I don't even know if it's gonna happen. But you know, like you put this movie and the way the movie is done, the way this
movie is your Iron Man.
It's your Iron Man.
Yes.
It kind of makes you think, oh shit, they're gonna do it. Maybe they're not even thinking of that. It would be great if they are. But it's like
I feel like
that-
they have to be avidly talking about.
Well, there's
but-
a way to do it to where it is not a rushed affair, and that is the biggest concern. Is that if you do it like DC and just rush it, it's not going to be good. Obviously, you know, as far as Smash goes, there's 10 original characters. This movie knocks out
Mario, Luigi,
Donkey Kong,
and Donkey
Yoshi.
Kong.
And Yoshi, because
Yoshi.
technically
Yeah,
Yoshi.
Yoshi.
That's
Yeah, because
four already.
because Peach isn't in
Bowser.
Peach
No,
isn't
no,
in the
I'm talking about the first Smash game.
Oh,
yeah,
the
because
first
Peach
Smash.
Yeah.
and Bowser, they aren't the OGs.
No, they're melee. So
Star
and again,
Fox.
Nintendo is working with Illumination. There's many ways you can go about it. You can very much just give each IP their own movie.
No, yeah.
That's
You can
the
do
ideal
an F-Zero,
scenario.
you can do a Star Fox, you can do a Metroid.
You can, but you know, part of me also thinks, you know, if Illumination wants to, because Illumination is under Universal, which means they have a deal with Peacock. Some of these could be a series.
Yeah.
You know,
Honestly,
Could be a
like
series.
Zelda would be an amazing
I think
series.
Zelda would work perfectly as a series. I think Samus honestly could make a really good series.
Star
but,
Fox could be an easy movie.
okay, Star Fox could be actually
F-Zero,
yes, Star Fox.
and there's what's Nez's?
Earthbound.
Is he in the
Uh,
original?
Yes,
He is.
Oh,
Nez
wow.
is in the original, and you don't need
And
to
then
do a
the Pokemon.
one. You don't
The
need to do a
Poke-
Pokemon
yeah.
one.
Yeah,
no, you could skip that.
not really.
Throw
no.
that, throw that out. Yeah, in the
No,
trash.
but
Yeah,
like have them in there, but like
no,
yeah,
like you can,
No.
you can introduce it in a
Yes.
Smash movie.
you don't need it in the Pokemon.
Yes. Well, here's what I'd say is that, and I think the Smash games do it perfectly, is where they kind of lump a lot of characters together based on. I think it's one of the challenges. Like you go through all the Mario related characters, and
Yep.
then the next wave is all the space related characters. If you want, you could do a movie, and again, you would have to have a really strong writing staff. A movie that features the Star Fox game,
F-Zero,
Samus, F-Zero, and Kirby.
Earthbound. And I would say maybe Earthbound.
Earthbound, I might keep it separate because Earthbound's really weird.
Yeah.
yeah, it gets to
Kirby, yeah, Kirby.
territory.
Damn, a Kirby movie. That's gonna be a trip.
All of them would be a trip.
No,
I think all of them have potential to stand on their own.
No, Zelda,
or
like
movie.
Zelda, is the one
Well,
that's like that has to be a series
would
because
be
Zelda
a
is so like the world is so enormous. The lore of that world is so freaking enormous. You can't unless you make like a 3-hour long movie
Right.
or like almost like a trilogy. I would say you
Right.
got to make a series.
Goodness. I mean, I feel like this movie, the Super Mario Brothers movie, definitely has enough fun with itself to actually let us warrant and theorize like, okay, we actually do want to see where we could go in this direction. Because the movie I feel like the movie did enough well on its own for me to actually be open to the idea. Yes, give me a series and or movie of Zelda, Kirby, F-Zero, Star Fox. And, you know, just, I think the Mario movie, I want a squeakquel to Mario. I want a squeakquel to Mario, and I want it to do what it did for Sonic, where Sonic's first. So this is where we start talking about comparisons, because we're at the end. We're gonna give overall thoughts.
Let's do it.
I think in terms of just a solid movie, I think Sonic 1 is better than the Mario film. As a film. When it comes to fandom and overall fun, I think the Mario film easily eats out.
I
realized what I was leading into. Why did I use that?
Did you say eats out?
Yes,
Yep.
Mario eats out Sonic
that's
1.
well, ladies and gents, and
Oh my god.
that's recorded, so you will all hear that on Spotify, YouTube,
go.
and all the other social media accounts where
Throw
this
your
is at.
plugins, yes.
But no, I like this more as a movie than Sonic.
Interesting. Both
so,
Sonic
like-
1 and 2?
Yeah, so like
Wow,
I think
okay.
I think the reason is that so Sonic 1 and 2, like it's like that combination of, the animation and live action, which I'm fine with it. The thing is that there's some parts of Sonic that are just so freaking cringe, and it's not even Sonic, it's the real life characters.
Yeah.
That it's cringy as hell. And I know it goes with the movie and it doesn't affect it, but when you have this movie with just like a pure animation movie, it's like, I don't know, it's more homogeneous, it's more, everything flows better. Because in Sonic, sometimes those cringy moments are just like, this is so forced, but obviously I know why they made it cringy. Because a live action has to kind of be as lighthearted as the animated characters in the said movie. There's kind of like that disconnect there. So that's why I like the Super Mario Bros. Movie more. Still love the Sonic movies, don't get me wrong. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm with Dr. Mondo. I think I enjoyed the Super Mario Bros. Movie more. And I say this because what Sonic has to do compared to the Mario Bros. Movie, it is the fact that it is live action, is that the Sonic movies have this handicap to where they have to make sense not only within the Sonic lore, but now it has to make sense within our world. And that's the battle the movie then has to have. Everything that happens in the Sonic movie, because it takes place in our world, there's more of a believability there has to be. There has to be this element to where if I walk outside, I can imagine a ring opening a portal and Sonic running in and running through it. And, that's good and bad, because I think Sonic 2 is better than Sonic 1.
Yeah, because it is. It is.
Agreed.
Right. And it's namely because Sonic 2 leans more into the Sonic stuff.
Yeah, the Sonic lore, the Sonic world.
Right. And then when you compare it to the Mario Bros. Movie, because the Mario Bros. Movie is purely animated, they don't have that believability you gotta have. You can really go. It's like the reins are off. There's nothing holding it back, because like Sonic 2 is great because it explores more the Sonic world, but you still have the real world holding it back. Yes, because probably the weakest element of the Sonic films are the real world aspects outside of Dr. Robotnik.
Exactly.
I could do without the cop and his family.
Yes.
The town of Green Hill. Nice reference, but ultimately it stops more of the Sonic lore being a focus. Where the Mario movie, they do have the Brooklyn sequences, but that just helps us understand Mario and Luigi more. And not to mention, as you said, Dr. Mondo, you have that scene where they're running through the city, and it's very much, looks like the original games. It looks like a side scroller and whatnot.
Right.
What are you thinking, Dr. Jace?
I respectfully disagree. In the sense of, I think as a film, for what it's like, I'm just gonna talk about Sonic 2 because Sonic 2 is a superior film to Sonic 1. I think the writing in Sonic 2, when it comes to the comedy, the intended zingers. Oh, look, he's a coward. He's running.
Oh no, like that. No, like that. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you.
But that's why I make that comparison, because it's the writing is more. And again, Sonic 2 has problems. It has plot holes. It has this and that. But the comedy, I feel like in Sonic 2 is more tightly knit. And I feel like your character moments, whether it's with Sonic, with Tails, with Knuckles, with I can't remember his name, but the cop character, Tom, they have moments where I felt those moments were earned because of how the story was told.
I agree.
Compared to Mario. And that's why when I say Sonic 2 is better than Mario, in the sense of it has a better plot and its development of its characters are more earned and just better written compared to Mario. For Mario specifically, you have moments where, right, you have Luigi with the Mario bit, and he's protecting him from Bowser and everything. You have the baby Mario and baby Luigi things in the very beginning. I'm missing that middle part where I'm questioning like what was taken out of this film for this aha song to play in this DK sequence for a solid 2 minutes. I think visually, I do agree. Because it's animated, it has no restraints whatsoever in showing the Mario verse and just kind of having fun with that. You see DK, Mario Kart, just everything. But I feel like as a film, as a story, I think you take Sonic 2 and it's just a better put together film overall. I think you can have more fun with Mario than Sonic 2, but in terms of it being a better written story, I think Sonic 2 still comes out on top over Mario. And that I say that with the hope that my problems with Mario 1 are addressed in a Mario 2, because I want to feel that those moments are earned with Mario and Luigi. And if they want to throw in Wario and Waluigi in there too.
No, like honestly,
Bowser or
the squeakle is going to be baby, baby Bowser rescuing Bowser.
Bowser Jr.
Bowser Jr. Jesus,
Right.
wow, I am so sorry. I'm uncultured, but so yeah, Bowser Jr. rescuing Bowser. We're also gonna see Waluigi, Wario, Daisy is likely gonna make an appearance. Rosalina, because
they better
Luma's
go all out. They better
I
go
need them
all
to
out.
slow down, but
No, because
we're gonna see a lot. We're gonna see a lot.
Like
We're gonna see a
Rosalina
lot.
makes sense because it's gonna be like, oh, the Luma was freed and goes back to Rosalina, and it's likely gonna say, oh yeah, like I was saved by Mario, blah blah blah, and like, oh, Rosalina's kind of like, oh, gonna owe a debt to Mario. Bowser Jr. is gonna rescue Bowser. Daisy, I don't know how they're gonna bring her in. Wario and Waluigi, they'll find a way.
I mean,
And obviously Yoshi is gonna be there.
I think Rosalina can wait till a third film, to be honest. I do see secondary antagonists taking place, whether it's Bowser's cousins, Bowser Jr.,
Wario
maybe they
and
recruit.
Waluigi.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe they recruit Wario and Waluigi, and obviously they're more anti-heroes than villains. I can see it. I still just want the story to make sense. Let me real quick. Let me tell you about, and again, I'm coming back to the idea of runtime. Runtime is important. I do agree as far as Dr. J saying the Sonic films are better put together. They are. Namely because in the first one, it's just Sonic we're learning about. That first one is only 99 minutes. And we get enough Sonic, enough Tom, enough Robotnik. And that story works very well. The second one gets a boost, and it's now 122 minutes. To now we do get ample time to explore Tails, explore Knuckles, and those character moments are earned. The Mario movie is only, I think, 98 minutes, and there's a lot more characters to juggle than the Sonic films. To where the Sonic films, every time they added more characters, they added more screen time. I mean, run time. To where now you can
but
like,
that's not the fault of like, oh well, you're putting in more characters, so we have no time to establish our own. Like,
not saying they don't have time, because they did establish. I do felt there was establishment, but very much I think the third act of the Mario movie is relatively rushed. Like Donkey Kong and Mario escape the eel, and then they're in the Mushroom Kingdom literally right away.
No, yeah, their heart to heart is non-existent.
I wanted to be there for it, but it's like I just shrugged my shoulders at it. And I would even go as far as to say even the Sonic 1 is a much better put together film as an origin story compared to Mario 1, because I feel like those emotional bits are earned. And with Sonic 1, it's like they could have thrown in Tails and Knuckles and Shadow and Charmy the Bee and all these other bastards from the Sonic mythos into film 1, but they didn't, because they didn't do it. Listen.
More characters you add, you're going to need more runtime to explore and have those earned moments.
Right.
But the Mario films,
for the Mario film, they did not need to throw in all these characters. I'm glad they did.
That's what I'm saying.
glad they did, but they didn't need to do that. And because they didn't need to do that, I am docking it down as a less put together film than Sonic 1, because it's like they made the choice. Oh, we only have 90 minutes, but we want to include Donkey Kong. We want to include Diddy. We want to include Peach, Toad, all these people. They wanted to do that. And it's like, oh, but what about time to like flesh out the characters? Doesn't matter. Let's just get these out there. We'll cram in what we can, and we'll let the box office speak for itself.
And that is why I'm saying, if your characters need to equate to the runtime. Too many characters, you can't have this short of a runtime. Sonic 1, not many characters, makes sense for less than a 2-hour film. Sonic 2 adds more characters, we have a 2-hour film. Mario because again, as we just talked about, the sequel is going to add more characters. You have to give them more time to play with the characters for a better cohesive story. If not, we're going to have many rush parts or parts that just get kind of brought up and then don't receive a proper finish. And that's how, but with all that said, I still have more fun.
I still think it's this film, as a Mario fan, it's very easy to ignore its faults because coming in here, we saw the critics' scores, 55, 53, whatever. They had a rotten score on Rotten Tomatoes. This film is not a rotten score.
It's not a rotten film.
It's not a rotten film. It's nowhere near it. I did not come into this and say, man, this is just as bad as Eternals. No, I didn't think that.
No,
man, I think this is
not.
bad as Ant-Man Quantumania.
Oh,
No.
this was way better than Ant-Man Quantumania.
This was way.
I had more fun here. Yeah.
I had more fun here. I don't think it's on the level that
this is not a rotten movie.
It's not a rotten movie, but I also don't think it's on the level of some people are giving this like 10 out of 10.
Oh no. I give this movie, I would say an 8 out of 10.
I think an 8 is safe. I know what Grandmaster is gonna say.
It's a 9. It's a 9.
I give it 8.5, something like that. Because my biggest gripes with the movie, I would say, is Luigi the character, and going with runtime. Yeah, it's just there's some moments that really need to be fleshed out more. And I think the movie would have benefited from being instead, what was it, an hour and 32 minutes, something like that?
95 minutes.
Wow, I was pretty close.
Yeah.
An hour and 35 minutes. I feel that this movie was an hour and maybe 50, I would say 15 minutes.
Yeah.
15
could have stand for 20 more minutes.
Exactly. 15 to 20 minutes longer to flesh out these singular moments here. This would have been I would say 9-ish territory.
No, I definitely agree with
this
that.
movie would have benefited from 15 to 20 minutes more. And it's because easily. I really didn't have that many gripes with the movie. Even the songs, the only one that caught me was I Need a Hero. That was the only one. I love that song. I absolutely adore that song, but it just doesn't fit and it's overused. The rest of the songs I didn't have a problem with them.
That's fair.
But yeah, Luigi's character I think was my biggest gripe with the movie.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm at a 7.5, a strong 7.5. For me, there's just a lot. I enjoyed this film. Let me get that out of the way. I enjoyed this film for what it was and what it did, because my God, this is leaps and bounds from the travesty that we got with the original Super Mario Brothers from 1993. Because
that's considered one of the worst movies ever made.
It established a trend of video game adaptations for film or TV series are terrible.
And
that was
are
the
we
first
like?
one.
And
That was
are
the
we going to talk a little bit about maybe that those biases, and in addition to like being animated, attributed to like the rotten score?
I believe that it did. Yes, because there are biases towards films like this where critics are coming in, and it happened with Sonic 2 in its initial debut, where Sonic 2, before audience scores were up, a lot of critic reviews for Sonic 2 were terrible. They were like in the rotten range, 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10. Same with Mario. Same thing. And it's one of those things where some people are coming into these films and expecting something Shakespearean, when the film really, all it has to do is tell a competent enough story and make sure that it satisfies the fans that it's trying to attract.
Not only that it like that you feel a sense of nostalgia, a connection, because it reminds you of your childhood,
Right,
all
that's addressing the fans.
So like you're addressing the fans, but again, that in itself is a skill, because like you need to create a movie that elicits those, like not only like expose it, like the exposition of all the things, but the Easter eggs. You have to present the Easter eggs and also portray and give out the feeling so that the audience that likely knows and is going to be they're going to put all those characters on their major scrutiny because those characters define their freaking childhood. Connect with it.
Right.
That is a skill, and that is praiseworthy.
You need to appease the fans because it's a film first and foremost for fans.
It's a film for the fans. It's not a film for critics.
And that's what it's supposed to be. Can you still criticize outside of being a critic? Can you still criticize the film like, oh yeah, Luigi, the some of the jokes didn't land? Yeah, you can still do that. But as a Mario film, as a Sonic film, did they do their job?
Yeah, yes. they exceeded by like, if I were to say, because it's like a 50, what is it like right now around me? It's like 50 somewhat 58.
Like
for critic reviews, it's at around 50, between 54 and 56.
Okay.
And for
audience
reviews,
it's like in the 90s.
It's in the hot, it's in like the mid 90s, high 90s around
so there. I would give it, honestly, me as a critic, like this is not, it doesn't deserve a 50s. I would give it like an upward, like as from a critic perspective. From a critic perspective, I would give it like high 60s, maybe like low 70s.
Well, again, the score comes from an average, though. So.
No, I know, like
right.
I know it comes from an average. But
typically, it's an average of what people thought of the film in general. I think as a me giving it a 7.5 is like, I can only let my fandom go so hard for a movie before I start questioning, okay, but what about this? What about that? Why didn't they flesh this out? Why wasn't this addressed? Why did I not laugh? There are a lot of jokes in this movie that I just did not laugh at. I laughed at some and I remember them and they were funny, but there were just some that I wanted a punchline and they tried doing it and it didn't work.
No, but here I'm gonna stir the pot, DrJace. But this was so much better than She-Hulk.
What?
That's not stirring the pot. Yeah, it's better than She-Hulk.
No. Then She-Hulk, and I would say the majority of recent MCU projects.
Oh, God. Why are you bringing the MCU into this?
It's everywhere.
You can't hurt my baby.
No, it has nothing to do with this.
It's everywhere.
Listen,
it's a cinematic universe versus the origin of another cinematic universe.
No,
it has everything.
Is this better than Iron Man 1? Answer that question.
Stop.
Answer. Yes or no. Just answer.
Stop.
You can't answer.
Completely different films.
You can't answer.
Yes, I can.
Which is it? Yes or no? Then?
I don't know yet. I haven't thought about it yet. I just watched this movie yesterday. I don't remember the last time I watched Iron Man. But I'll tell you what, if we're going off of my initial theater watch, I probably walked out of Super Mario Bros. Movie like super differently than Iron Man, because Iron Man, I wasn't a Iron Man fan. See, we're not going to get into this.
You're deep. Why are you going down this rabbit hole?
I'm not going down this rabbit hole. Listen, look here. Listen. Okay. This is what I was trying to get at in our earlier conversations about critic scores. Okay. Yes, the critics were coming out and saying it's a 50, right? On average, they were saying it was a 50. I understood they are not video game fans. And that makes sense.
They're not going to understand a lot of the Easter eggs.
Let me finish.
Look here.
That said, that said, they don't have to understand the Easter eggs. They just need a good movie. And that is why, I think Hooper TV was trying to say, this movie will satisfy fans, but this movie may have flaws that hinder it as a movie, which is why when I was bringing up Sonic and saying how more people enjoyed Sonic on those initial Rotten Tomato scores, was that because they didn't have to be a fan of the video game. Sonic, and as we just talked about, is a better put together film than this movie, which is what I was trying to get at. So when sharing IGN and the video game, well, I don't know their name, it's like, I get it. Right. Of course, they're going to like this movie. Their score, though, doesn't speak to this movie as just a movie versus a fan movie. You know, their score, of course, it's high. They're fans. My score is high. I'm a fan.
It's higher than the ones that I shared to you.
I needed this. I know, but it makes sense why they're high. They're fans.
But that was the whole purpose. Because there was a fear when we initially shared the Rotten scores. There was a natural fear that, oh my God, this is gonna be a terrible movie. And then that fear was tempered. It should have been tempered when it was said, don't take it seriously, go form your own opinion. But just as a perspective, Sonic 2 on its initial release suffered the same thing. Rotten scores, just in general, not just Rotten Tomatoes, just Rotten scores in general on its release. You get the audience into the theaters, they loved it. That was Sonic. Same with Mario. Rotten score in the beginning, you think it's going to be terrible, audience goes to the theaters, it's great.
But the thing is, I don't go off of audience scores.
You don't have to go off of audience scores. It's just from assuming that the movie was going to be bad from the initial critic reviews, when your first reaction should just be, critics are being overly critical of a movie like this. The same way they're overly critical of a movie like Sonic. Sonic 2, for all intents and purposes, is a very generic film. It's very generic in its message and everything else. But the way it told it, for a fan of Sonic and how cohesive it was and well put together, it nailed it.
But see, I'm not over here thinking they're being overcritical when I see those initial reviews. I think they're looking at it as a film.
They're missing the point.
That's being overly critical, yeah.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily being overly critical. I think just because, as we pointed out, there are flaws within this movie, but, you know, there needs to be a happy medium to where you just need, you know, again, that's why I don't go off of the critical, and that's why I don't go off of the audience.
You form your own opinion.
Well, yeah, I work in the middle, but also I need reviews from people who have a lukewarm fandom and they're a relatively good critic. Does that make sense? Somewhere in the middle, someone who is not an uber fan of Mario Brothers, but is a relatively good critic, is who I would care to listen to as far as a review goes, because the audience might overhype it and the critics might undersell it.
But you're here giving it a 9.
I am a good critic.
I'm good.
And I am a lukewarm fan.
You're giving this film a 9.
I am a lukewarm fan.
That is not a lukewarm fan. Doesn't do
I
that.
am a lukewarm fan. Ask me
Dr.
how many-
You know what?
Jace.
No, that's
Ask me how many
Dr.
Mario
Jace,
games I've
like
beaten.
That
this,
speaks for
like
itself.
you're speaking to someone who gave Ant-Man an 8.
I can give Ant-Man an
We-
8. I can give Ant-Man an 8.
I am
can
a
be-
lukewarm fan of Ant-Man.
I am not a lukewarm. I mean, as far as Ant-Man goes, I'm not a like. I don't know Ant-Man lore out the wazoo.
Look here, look, listen. You're at a 9. Dr. Mondo, you're at 8.5.
8.5, or
8.5.
like between those.
I'm at a 7.5. I think regardless of where we are at on the scoring spectrum for this overall, this was, would you recommend the Super Mario Brothers movie to
Yes.
Yes.
people in general, or hell, even a Mario fan? Yes.
I already did. I already did today.
Okay. I would too.
I
Despite my
already
gripes with
recommended it to some of my friends down in Puerto Rico.
Despite my gripes, I go watch this movie. This movie was great. I for what it's supposed to be, I think you're gonna have a fun time watching this movie. Grandmaster, any
To the Uber Mario fans, yes, go watch this movie. There's pure enjoyment to be had here. To the lukewarm fans, go watch this movie. You'll enjoy it. To I don't know what Mario is. I only know he wears the hat. You may or may not like it. You may still find some fun. For the people who don't like movies, don't watch movies.
right. If you don't like entertainment, just go to sleep.
Yeah, just
I don't know why
Fuck
you
off.
listen this far. into the
right.
podcast.
Yeah, but no, go. I think the biggest thing here, form your own opinion. Go watch this movie.
Form your own opinion.
Tell us what you think.
Don't worry about what audience says. Don't worry about what critics say. Go see for yourself what you think about the Super Mario Brothers movie. But I think that pretty much wraps up what we have to say for this film. I think overall we enjoyed the film for both its positives and its flaws, and we're excited for the future of something like this, whether it's in the form of a squeakquel or a Nintendo cinematic universe, which, I mean, I don't know. Nintendo often likes sitting on piles of money and not doing anything with it, whether it's an idea or not.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Slow
my-
your roll.
Can you imagine? Oh my God, if that played at the end, oh,
See,
That would have
people will
been.
not be ready. People will
for
not
someone
be
who
ready.
critiques the MCU, you want a cinematic universe so badly here.
Teases, just teases.
They got
We don't
time.
have to, we don't have to
That's
have
fine.
Samus smashing in from
Grandmaster
the
who?
ceiling.
I want something to knock the MCU off its perch.
Rest. Right now it has no competition, and that's why it keeps getting away with media.
Animation might be harder to do. Animation takes a
They're
little more time.
comfortable.
Animation
Get
takes a little
them
more
off
time.
their throne. You know what, Grandmaster Hoop?
What?
You better stop. Well, I know what you're doing.
What is this?
You know what he's doing.
No, I don't.
Explain after.
Okay.
Either way. That's it.
Oh.
Oh, now you get it.
I think I get it. I think I get
Yo,
it.
you get it.
I think I get it. I think I get it.
I say that wraps up our thoughts here at the Yonko table, folks. Go watch the Super Mario Brothers movie. Let us know what you all think in the comments below, wherever you're listening to us on, whether it's Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, at the Yonko table. How do you want to close this out? Say what? With
The
what?
classic World 1, Level 1.
All right. So do. What is
Oh,
that?
a little faster though.
Okay, fine. Do.
Do.
All right, that's enough.